Hello, welcome to Follow Everton. I'm on the way to Goodison Park. My father is driving the car, and we're going to watch Everton versus Bournemouth. Let me just turn my phone on Do Not Disturb. Thank you for joining. Very briefly, just going to give my thoughts on the team. He's gone with Coleman again at right back, and Michael Keane, the tragedy who's made over 200 appearances for Everton, still playing in the centre of defence alongside James Tarkowski, who hopefully has overcome the injury problems which has made him turn slower than the Titanic. Left back, Vitaly Mikalenko, hopefully he can cross the halfway line and get some decent balls in, as he did in the last match against League Two Doncaster, actually getting an assist for Beto's goal. So I'd like to see him getting forward rather than hiding in the Everton half for the whole game. In midfield, he's resisted the urge to bring in James Garner, who played on Tuesday night, and he's stuck with the new signing Tim Arabunam, who's looked very impressive for Everton in that midfield, alongside Garner Gay. And then it looks like it could be three behind the striker today. Dwight McNeil, Illiman and Jai, and Jack Do Nothing Harrison. And also, he's gone up front with Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who didn't leave yesterday on the transfer market, which for me is gross negligence to allow a player to get to 1 year left on the contract and not sell him, and not play. He's not playing better. He's playing Calvert-Lewin, so hard to know. Which positions the three behind the striker are going to play. My thoughts on this is I would have liked to have seen Roman Dixon play again. He did nothing wrong against Spurs. He was good, tenacious on the ball, got his foot in, and I think it would have been a good opportunity to do something today to bring a little bit more impetus into the team. I can understand why Keane's in ahead of Jake O'Brien, because I thought Jake O'Brien did nothing wrong against Doncaster, but I didn't think he was, I wasn't looking at him thinking, wow, this guy's unbelievable. He's going to need a bit of time. And I also understand why Norwegian midfielder Lindstrom's not playing, because when I watched him against Doncaster, he was probably the weaker of all the new signings, in all honesty. And I'm not quite sure, naturally, he wants to be on that right-hand side. He's not going to hug the touchline and get the ball in the box. I think he wants to come in off the right and play more of an inside sort of player. So I can understand the temptation, why it's been resisted to bring in more of the new players, but I would have probably liked to see Dixon in there, but I know he's gone with Coleman for that experience. But one positive, of course, is in Jai playing. He was brilliant against Doncaster and got that goal where he turned and beat a player and slotted home. Hopefully we can see more of that today, because we're going to need that creativity. I am frustrated again to see Dwight McNeil and Jack Harrison playing with Calvert-Lewin. I think they're really difficult to watch. McNeil only wants to use his left foot. Harrison, no end product with his finishing, his crossing, or sort of anything. Just runs around a bit and is good on the press. But it's going to be a big game for them to kind of cement their places, because there is competition for places now with Lindstrom, I suppose, and Njai and Decore. You can argue there's a bit of competition. Let me just put on the sat nav, because this route is obviously
Just give them up.
Yeah, be all right. We'll be okay. Yeah, they're turning back round maybe, but transfer market. Yeah, just very briefly going to talk about that. I know there's 72 of you watching. Thank you very much for everyone coming in. So overall, I think it's a decent transfer window considering we have no money to spend. Tim Arabunam's going to be a big signing for the future. There's a ladybug there in the car. Big signing for the future. And Lindstrom could come good, although I am slightly nervous about this bloke, whether he's more of he's going to be a natural fit for us. But I think on loan, no risk, formerly really good at Eintracht Frankfurt. So let's see how he does. Given some time, some game time, and some experience. The fact we've kept Jared Branthwaite is really good, of course. Hopefully he can come back soon. Not too impressed with the Calvert-Lewin situation. I think he should have been out the door much sooner and replaced, but something's gone on there. Maybe he couldn't agree personal terms, or couldn't get the move he wanted, or Everton couldn't get the fee. Not quite sure what one of those reasons there is, but so that's a negative, I suppose. Other signings, Jack Harrison, I personally wouldn't have brought him back. I think he's awful, but Dyche and Thelwell obviously see him as a cheap deal that they could have done and bolster the squad. They've gone for it and they trust him, but he needs to improve. Who else did we bring in? Begovic. Well, we needed another goalkeeper. 3 goalkeepers you've got to have in case one gets injured, so that's fair enough. Njai, hopefully he can hit the ground running in the Premier League now and show that quality on the ball and skill, and bring a bit of flair to the team, which is severely lacking. And so he's going to be a good signing. But in terms of any others, have I missed anyone? Just the deadline day ones. Then Orel Mangala on loan from Lyon. Something dodgy going on there, where they're giving us a player they've just signed in the same window. He's a defensive midfielder, but he's got a bit about 20 or 19 caps for Belgium. So, he's got a decent pedigree and Premier League experience. Has played in Germany. So I'm quite happy with that business. And we needed another central midfielder, because in the games against Spurs and Brighton, when it was running away from us and they were just passing around us, we needed someone who could come on with fresh legs to put their foot in and make it horrible for the opposition. So I'm pleased we've got Mangala. And the other one is the deal to bring in Breuer from Chelsea on loan with an option to buy. He was good at Southampton. He looked like he had massive potential, strength, pace, dribbling, finishing, everything about him, but then had a massive injury and hasn't been able to kind of get to the level required, and was at loan on Fulham and didn't score, didn't really get any appearances. And then at Chelsea, they got so many strikers and players they needed to get rid. So he could be good. And it's a no-risk signing. There's no loan fee. We're covering his wages once he's back from injury. So let's see how we get on with him. And I think overall it's a decent window. The negatives are the Calvert-Lewin one, and not signing an out-and-out right winger with pace, and arguably not improving in the full-back areas, because I'm not keen on the options we've got. Right, I'm going to drop out now. Thank you to everyone watching. Enjoy the game, and we'll be back at the full-time whistle. Thank you.